want you to know what it feels like to keep all of this pain so concealed. Like I want out of this plane, I told my psych, you don't need to, you don't need to. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole life's a passing fad. You'll remember the times we had, the times we had, yeah. All these pleasures my brain can't have, I want out, so please don't be sad. Give it up, cause I'm getting out. Don't be sad, you could let it out. All the shit I'm forgetting now. My whole life I've been checking out. All I said, you could send it out. Light it up, now I'm headed out. This is the end of my part now. We will be never apart, no. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. Don't leave, I need you with me. Don't die, I need you alive. Don't go, don't leave me alone. You said, yeah. My entire life feels like one big mistake, and all these pills inhibit re-uptake. I can't arrive at any reason to wait. Take it one at a time, only take it one night at a time. And I don't care, cause I don't give, I take. From this world so superficial and fake, in all your joys I simply cannot relate. Take it one at a time, only take it one night at a time. I say goodbye, it's getting late now. Please don't cry, you'll know I made it out. Say goodbye before I fade out, before I fade out, before I fade out. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole life's a passing fad. You'll remember the times we had, times we had, yeah. Let it out, all the shit I'm forgetting now. My whole life I've been checking out. All I said, you can send it out. Light it up, now I'm headed out.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Rusty Panda, and I am here for you. Today we've got Joker Dad up in the house. Hello.
Hello. Good evening to you, Rusty Panda. How are you this lovely night?
Oh, I'm doing quite well. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Just a long day as usual, but here we are, and we're going to make the best of it with yourself and this wonderful Wiki Wednesday. Appreciate you having me on today.
Yeah, absolutely. For those of you who haven't been to Wiki Wednesday before, here's what we do. We take a streamer and find out 15 things they like, 5 things they don't, and we go ahead down the Wikipedia rabbit hole, finding out new things about those items and also about the streamer themselves. So that's a pretty good representation of what's going to happen tonight. So the first thing that I put up on Le Wikipedia was clown. And so this is going to kind of go for the what derived your name, how you came into this. I don't know. I wouldn't want to say persona because it's you. How you became you. It's an open question.
Yeah, for sure. I actually haven't gone into depth as far as this even on the clown topic. I know my standardize what I've learned, in the past gestures and think we may learn today on some of this, I'm sure, but just over time. And I'm sure this will be very educational for myself as well. So.
Okay, yeah, no worries. So if do you not want to talk about the clown? You said you haven't gone into it before, so is that a no touchy?
No,
Or?
this is great. No,
Okay,
this is great.
perfect. Yeah, so tell me about where this love of clowns came from.
I would say, the persona here on Twitch came from I would say when I was younger, being a young boy, there was a TV show that I always remembered and enjoyed, Bozo the Clown. They would have buckets on the floor, and the kids would come up and they throw balls and try to hit into the bucket. And the farther bucket you got, you would get points for it. And I always like practiced at home, and I was like really good at it and started, being able to toss things into, like say the trash can or things from a good distance and make it in. And that show kind of like, it wasn't a bad clown, fun. You win stuff, win toys, and as a kid, I thought it was great. So, that was one of the loves that kind of got me into it. And I always enjoyed clowns and movies, even scary movies, and I just thought it was like it's a different universe, different time of, you got good clowns, you got bad clowns, funny clowns, you have jesters who would just juggle. So it's just different varieties that I really enjoyed of the aspect. So I wanted to bring that into more than because when I first started, I was just Fortnite streamer. And then the clown kind of took over. It kind of grew, manifested through the stream in a short period. And it kind of like, I was like, how can I really, be one with the clown, and this is where we're at today. And it's a fun time, in the kingdom. We have some fun time. We get some games and meet new people. So it's great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, what made you come up with the Kingdom of Clowns and not like the Circus of Clowns or something along that line?
The kingdom is more like we mentioned, the gestures of medieval time. You have
That's awesome.
they're there to kind of just entertain the crowd, make jokes, have fun. So I thought that was always great.
That's great. I love that. I really do. You clearly thought it through as far as what your community was going to look like. And I think that that's really notable. So great job on that.
Oh no, I appreciate that.
And the Clown Prince himself, welcome on in, Zahibi, Zahabi,
Yeah, it's a hobby.
Zahabi. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so
Hello, sir.
I basically am curious when we're talking about certain clowns. I'm really hoping there aren't scary clowns on this Wikipedia. I'm not so much afraid of
I'm not.
clowns. I just don't want it to trigger anyone who's watching. So this is fine. This is good. Um,
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people who've watched me, they actually have a fear of clowns or phobia, and some have stopped watching me. There's like a few who were like, started. He was a streamer in the beginning, and he even told me, he's like, "Man, I've got a fear of clowns," and I was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry about that. Like that's tough, like." So all right, and but some people it grew on, I kind of grew on them, right? Like personality, how I operate and try to grow not only myself but other streamers around me, give them a platform to grow off of, an opportunity to be seen, while others may not have that opportunity. And it's not only helped myself over time, it's helped others, and we just all keep pushing for each other.
yeah, and so even being a part of your community when I first found you, which I'm trying to remember if it was just a recommended, I think it was just in recommendations.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
told you once, but I don't remember now because it's been a minute. However, I'm glad I fell upon you because honestly, one of the first streams that I saw was you saying, "Is there anyone who wants to be shouted out? We can look at your page. We can go ahead and go over in detail. We can." And I was like, "Man, nobody does this. Everybody's like, no promoting in chat or no self-promoting or any of that lines," which comes to a point. I mean, if you're doing a stream and you're wanting to not somebody can ask to be promoted, and I think you do it in a respectful way of, here's the floor. Who wants to be shouted out? Let's go over your page. I I was befuddled. I couldn't believe it, and I think that that's such an amazing thing that that you do.
Yeah, I need to do more of those sit downs. That was kind of like I was sitting down that day and I was like, I need a break from Fortnite. I need some time to unwind off of the games. I love Fortnite, don't get me wrong. Like I can play Fortnite anytime usually. But I was like, I want the people again to be reminded that, I'm here for you because I haven't done my Joker Dead spotlight in about say 2, 3 months. And that's like a long time for me. And I'm gonna get back into it. We're gonna start getting guests on, hopefully yourself. But with everything that's been going on in my personal life and stuff, we've been, getting everything together,
Yeah.
and we'll be back at it. But that's the platform for them, and I think I'm gonna keep doing that. And then also, like you said, here on the side, to help people, give them that opportunity to get the floor, even off of times of the spotlight, which is great.
Yeah, yeah. And personal life first. That's the code of
Yeah,
streamers, because if you don't take care of your personal life, you'll never be able to really even stream. It'll just kind of fall apart. So, I'm glad you're taking care of your personal life. I
yeah,
definitely can relate. So, let's look at clowns here for a minute, because
yeah.
um it's the fact that you included Jester, Ancestor Arts Jester. I would have never put that together. I know a jester is like a clown, but a clown is a clown with the big red shoes. Like, to me, that is where I go, and so I never even thought of a jester. Um, let's see. Origin of the clown. Based on the zany, rustic fool characters from the early modern Commedia dell'arte, which were themselves directly based on the rustic fool characters of ancient Greek and Roman theater. Rustic buffoon characters in classical Greek theater were known as scleropictus, from paisan, to play like a child, besides other generic terms for rustic or pleasant peasant. In Roman term, the term for clown was fossor, literally digger or laborer. Oh,
That's
um,
interesting, huh? Like that's
yeah,
just I found like that is I mean there was probably not very much film, obviously, none at all back then. But it'd been nice to be able to have something reminiscence. I'm sure there's been some movies and shows that's kind of captured that on a different scale, but
yeah, and so the origin of the word is uncertain, but the generic meaning is rustic, boor, or peasant. So clowns have always been looked upon on lower class character dressed in scattered servant's garb.
mm,
Um, uh, yeah, so circus clowns developed in the 19th century from Phyllis Astley's London Riding School, which opened in 1768. I can read. So he added a clown to his shows to amuse the spectators between equestrian sequences. Wow. That's really interesting. So basically, it was just riding horses and stuff, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Here's a clown." And the clown's like, "Yo, I'm a clown."
yo, I'm a clown. Let me entertain you.
Right, right.
And it
Oh, that's so cool. So
says a red nose. Oh, keep going. Sorry, I must have jumped a couple.
no, go ahead, jump a
Okay.
couple. Tell me
No,
what you
it says
see.
acting as foil for more sophisticated white clown. Belling worked for.
Oh, here.
Oh,
Okay.
that's when they introduced the makeup. It looks like.
Yeah, acting as foil for the more sophisticated white clown being worked for circus marines in Vienna. His costume became the template for the modern stock character of circus or children's clowns, based on the lower class or hobo character with a red nose, white makeup around the eyes and mouth, and oversized cloths and shoes. The clown character, as developed in the 19th century, is reflected in the 1892 opera Fagolici, or Clowns. Um, Belling's Auguste character was further popularized by Coco the Clown in 1920s to 1930s. Cool. So this here, we go down the Wikipedia rabbit hole here. So this is an Italian opera, a prologue of 2 acts, And the opera tells a tale of Canio, actor and leader of the Commedia dell'arte theater company, who murders his wife and her lover on stage during a performance.
Oh wow.
Okay.
No, no. Didn't know about that. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
interesting.
So let me see now. So this is a bad clown. So this makes sense why people might not like clowns. Um, requested the change from singular to the plural to broad dramatic fun. There's some suing going on. Dropped his lawsuit. Okay, so basically, the four, what is it, tenor, soprano, baritone, tenor, baritone. Interesting. Prologue after the overdue curtains. Wow, they have literally all the acts on here. If you're interested in this, this is literally all of the acts and all of
Yeah,
the
I wish
information.
I was into like classical music or art or
Yeah.
it's I've tried. I've went to all my kids' plays and everything and performances like that. And I guess they're pretty good. I was pretty entertained. So I'm sure on a wider scale. But I don't
Yeah.
know if it's a murderous clown killing their lover or something. Is that what it says?
Yeah, it says the tale of Canio, actor and leader of the theater company who murders his wife Netta and her lover Silvio on stage during a performance.
I'll kill you, Silvio.
Right.
How dare you?
Composed as only opera and it's widely performed. Interesting. So what? Okay. Originally titled his story "The Clown," the baritone Victor, who was cast as the first Tonio, requested that he change the titles from singular to the plural to broaden dramatic interest from Canio alone to conclude Tonio his own role. Okay, that's fine. I don't need to know that. So I could go through the acts. I'm not going to. This is
Yeah.
Pagliacci, P-A-G-L Pagliacci. Pagliacci. I am Italian in some ways, but that I messed up. Pagliacci. Definitely go ahead and take a look at that. So, we've gone through circuses. North America now has the World Clown Association and Clowns of America International, both established in the 80s, are associations of semi-professionals and professional performers. Did you know this?
I have heard about them before. Yeah. I've not really looked into it personally to see if that's something I think that would be pretty cool. Honestly, like I know I only thing that I think I could perform is I can spin a basketball on my fingers.
Oh,
And I can do it on any of my fingers, thumb. I can switch it without, so it's fun. Like that's kind of cool. I learned when I was a kid. Uh, so that would be kind of interesting if I went in the full persona. Like I told people that when I go to Twitch, what did I say? 2027. I'm gonna give myself a couple years to get some funds saved through streaming. Right. I'm gonna go to Twitch, use it as a business write off or something like that, and have some fun. And I might, I told him I would wear the shoes that I wear on stream. So the clown shoes that I wear, I'd come out and wear on stream when I come.
that's awesome. That's great. And the aspirations, that's awesome to hear. Because I have goals on Twitch, and I have goals outside of Twitch, and it seems like you really have your head on straight as far as your goals or ideas of goals of what you want to achieve. And that's
Yeah, I
important.
try. I mean, Twitch has been my, primary focus the last like 14, 16 months. So it's been a roller coaster, I would say, ups and downs.
Yeah.
You just got to ride it.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't know about the Clowns Association, but it does have Bozo the Clown. in the late the Bozo show premiered in 1960 and appeared on
Oh yeah.
television in 1978. McDonald's, Ronald McDonald, the Bozo character in the 1960s. Willard Scott, who played Bozo, performed as a mascot in television spots, and the McDonald's trademark application for the character dates to 1967. Wow. Based on the Bozo template, the U.S. custom of birthday clown, private contractors who often perform as clowns at children's parties developed in the 1960s and 70s. So they all do it by the Bozo aspect. That's good.
That's it. So I mean, I think that's what influenced that right there between, to think that Bozo the Clown, I mean, I guess that got brought in, based off of the performance probably, and who knows. So it's all a trickle effect. Everything's kind of influenced by predecessors previous to them to keep the clown going in some form or another. I think that's interesting that there's people out there who, oh, and it even says a little below, yeah, I'm sorry, my eyes get caught. I see the big blue words and I'm like, evil clown character, and I see that.
That's why
So yeah,
you
we'll
can
get
see
there.
it. I want you to see it. So
Yeah.
I want you to point things out. So Augusta, a red clown character, and his role as a foil for the white in circus or pantomime shows to Bozo-derived standalone character or children's entertainment by the 1980s gave rise to the evil clown character, with the attraction of clowns for small children being based in their fundamentally threatening and frightening nature. The fear of clowns, particularly circus clowns, has been known as cultrophobia. Cultrophobia.
I've never heard of that word, so that's good to know. Fear of clowns is cultrophobia.
Cultrophobia. There's no T.
Okay.
That's my
See,
bad.
yeah, I see.
That's my bad.
Yeah, I'm horrible at pronunciation, so.
Writer 29, reading with a party of 3.
Ryder, let's go, Ryder.
Awesome. I don't have any of my alerts turned on for Wiki Wednesday, so we can just hype. We can just hype.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop 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 whoop. Oh, I love the little butt emote. Yeah, everything's turned off for Wiki Wednesday to keep it clean for YouTube. You have colorophobia?
Fear of evil clowns.
Yeah. Welcome on in, Ryder. Welcome on, everybody. Welcome to the zoo. Sit back, relax, enjoy the bamboo. Welcome on in. Today we've got JOKERDAD007 here in chat, and here on screen. Duh. And we are doing. Thank you for the follow. Thank you very much for the follow. We are doing Wikipedia Wednesday. So basically, we ask the streamer some things they like and don't like, and we go down the Wikipedia rabbit hole and learn some new things. And right now, we're learning things about clowns. And we just passed over evil clowns, which I find so interesting because you have things like It that came out and scared my brother to death. He hates clowns. My aunt read it to him when he was 5 years old.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That'll
that sounds
do it.
perfect. Yeah, exactly. Yep. From now on, any clown they see, scarred.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's rodeo clown, right? I mean, you got they consider right there meme artist, the whole mime and the, walk. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
So there's just different aspects. Gesture.
Harlequin. So that's Harlequin, a role traditionally behaved to be introduced in the Allentown actor. Okay. Pueblo. Pueblo clowns are jesters or tricksters in the Kachina religion. It is a genetic term, and there are a number of these figures in the ritual practice. Each has a unique role belonging to a separate kivas, and each has a name for differs from one mesa or pueblo to another. I like that. So clowns in religion, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I thought pueblo meant like pueblo. I thought it was a house. Isn't pueblo a house?
Oh, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
I don't know. And then I'm interested in rodeo clown. I need to know where this started. I don't know if that interests you at all.
I think rodeo clown is just in bullfighting. It shows.
Right, but do
Yeah.
they wear the face and everything like that when they're
I don't think so. I think they just call them rodeo
rodeo clowns?
clowns. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
All
Let's
right.
try it.
All right.
Yeah, no. No, it said something about relief. Maybe that's like to hype the crowd up or something.
Yeah. Because a famous former rodeo barrelman in makeup.
Oh,
No,
there
they
we
do
go.
paint. Hey, Pop, welcome on in. Um,
Gosh, that's so interesting.
yeah. So is protect a fallen rider from the bull by distracting it and providing an alternative target for the bull to attack, whether the rider has been bucked off or has jumped off the animal. These individuals expose themselves to great danger in order to protect the riders. To this end, they wear bright, loose-fitting clothes that are designed to tear away with protective gear fitted underneath. Rodeo clowns require speed, agility, and the ability to anticipate a bull's next move. Working closely with very large, very powerful animals, rodeo clowns are often injured seriously and sometimes fatally. Most rodeo feature a clown, and clowns have become crowd favorites. Wow.
Wow, let's sacrifice self our or sacrifice ourselves to the bull. Yeah, that's
I did not know that. Yeah, usually mid show they do things with the crowd to entertain. Have you been to a rodeo, Pop? And Joker Dad, have you been to a rodeo?
I haven't. No, I even grew up in Tennessee, and I've never been to a rodeo. I've just watched movies that's kind of portrayed that. So I think I've seen something along the lines of like someone entertaining, but I didn't know that they're the ones who actually like try to get the bull away from the rider. That's interesting. Yeah.
Pop was a rodeo clown a few times.
Oh,
No
you were awesome.
way! Pop, that's so cool!
Yeah,
Strong
that
like
is very cool.
bull. Hungry like the wolves, strong like bull. Okay, cool. So they're entertainers, but they're also like, welcome to Kentucky. there's a there's a big history to them. That's crazy. The more you know.
Welcome
Um
to Kentucky. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there's probably a lot of that there too.
um okay, let's see here. We've got scary. Let's go to scary and evil. The scary clown, also known as the evil clown or killer clown, is a subversion of the traditional comic clown character in which the playful trope is instead depicted in a more disturbing nature throughout the horror and elements and dark humor. So this goes into the novel It, which introduces the fear of an evil clown to modern audience. Also DC Comics character the Joker, starting in 1940. In the novel, the character is pan-dimensional monster which feeds mainly on children by luring them in a form of a clown named Pennywise and then assuming the shape of whatever the victim fears the most. I've never watched it. I never will watch it. My brother
There's the
swears by it.
original. Their original's really good, and the new ones are pretty good too.
Yeah, I heard
It's-
they're like works of art, but you won't catch me watching them at all. um, okay, so then the last things, gags and bits and business. Gags and visual motion a clown uses, or gags are the very short piece of clown comedy when repeated with a bit or routine may become a running gag. A bit, the clown's sketch or routine made up of more gags, either worked out by timed or by going on stage, composed of familiar improvisational material. And the business is the visual motion the clown uses. That's cool. And then there's an entree, clown acts last 5 to 10 minutes. Side dish, shorter feature acts. That's so cool that they have all
that
these
is
names
cool.
for these
I like
things.
the names. Yeah, entree for the 5 to 10 minutes, and then 1 to 3 side dish. That's cool. I dig that.
All the mimes like tell me where the door to the box is, and I already got shit to do. That's funny. Yeah, just a gallery of different types of clowns. Smiley the clown. See, I always knew what the heck was her name? The clown with the big red comfy couch. Do you know
Oh, Molly.
Molly from the
Molly.
big
Yeah.
yeah, that's the one that I remember. Um
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I think of mimes too, and what other clown is? There's another one that comes to mind. Uh,
Let me pull back here.
all right, hold on. Sorry, little one just, our oldest just got home.
It's okay.
All right, I'm still here.
Okay, cool. So which one were you thinking of one of these?
Let's try Jester, and then
Okay.
I don't know what we looked at. Yeah, because we looked at the other one on the left. So yeah, Jesters.
Member of the household or nobleman of monarch employed to entertain guests during royal court. Most
There we
people don't
go.
know, but Steve-O from Jackass went to clowning school. I did not know that.
That's cool.
That makes a lot of sense, quite honestly.
Um, yeah, I mean it is a form of acting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's yeah. Any why wouldn't any actor branch into something like that and to harness their skills of acting? Like
Yeah.
I've always thought of acting, but never got around to it. But this is a form of acting, I suppose, in a sense. You
Yeah.
got to entertain.
Yeah. There was times where like in D&D or those type of situations where I considered myself the jester. Um, but it was how many dad jokes can you tell? Like I tried so
Exactly.
hard to tell so many dad jokes, and so I just do it as a bard now, and it's totally fine because I can sing them. They're quick and witty, and then I don't have to do it for another while. But Jester, you just got to keep up with it. You gotta keep
I
going.
love D&D too. If I would have thought about that as putting on as a love too, D&D's awesome.
Yeah,
I haven't played it recently since like modernized where you can do it online and stuff like that. Old school tabletop metal figures with a group of 20 people at a big table and you're like this is cool. Like and I
yeah,
was young at the time. I was probably 16, 17, and it was fun because there's, people of all ages and everybody understood the game, right? And everybody was having fun and like the good times. I wish I wish those opportunities were still available for not only the kids but people. But everybody's so busy these days. Feel like it was a lot slower back then.
yeah, yeah. And so we um we do Dungeons and Dragons online, but on Twitch.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So he has Alan the Yellow Eyed. He has a bunch of sections for us, and then the map in the middle, and our stats will go ahead and fold through like a PowerPoint. I don't know how else to say it. But like folds through and you can see exactly what we're doing, how we move. It's all grid, and so how we move in front of each other, behind each other matters, and it's pretty cool. I think at the modern aged D&D is something that I can get with because I think sitting at a table with 20 people would be incredibly hard for my attention span. It'd be fun. It'd be
Yeah.
fun, but
No, you're right.
I
It is
we only
pretty.
do 3 hours at a time, and that's like enough for me. Like we do the tune in next time, and I'm like, oh, thank God! I've been sitting here so long. This is the most fun I've had, but I cannot sit here much longer. Um. So okay. So
Yeah,
you.
I've got another streamer friend and she plays as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, I can send you her information. She's actually based in the UK,
Okay.
which is great. Her name's Nikki, but I've got to remember exactly what her it's Fate of the Dice, but her actual name. But yeah, pretty cool. I thought was a clever, when I came across her, uh, clever name. She decided Fate of the Dice for D&D streamer. So pretty cool.
That is cool. Yeah, it's been so much fun doing it. This is the way. I mean, this is the way that traditionals would use it, right? I
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't have like the walls like that, I suppose. Like we had like open terrain and I guess we did at some point, I remember in certain like dungeon situations, but it was tough. Like I think a lot of stuff was just made.
Yeah.
but with the mat too. You just have
Right.
to know what tiles and stuff.
Yeah, the mat is crucial having those tiles here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what got you into Dungeons and Dragons?
Actually, I was into gaming at an early age. We had Mario and stuff like that, and then got into 64 and things like that. And then moved to a certain area, met some friends. We started playing, or we went to a card shop. In the card shop, we played Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
And Magic the Gathering, it's pretty cool. Like I actually got this is the oldest card I have. I don't have much anymore since I was a kid. Lost all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Restarted while I was an adult. But this was in a box that I had left, and it was like mostly filled with junk. But it had a land. I don't know if people know, but this is mana. This is kind of like if you play Pokemon or something. It's like an
Right.
energy or something, right? But
Right.
this is from beta, like the second set that ever came out. So this is actually like a $10 land or $20 land. I was like, oh, cool. Like it's interesting to find in an old junk box of mine.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is cool. And I know my brother has a lot of the original cards, which you're not allowed to even play with now.
Oh
Um,
wow! If he's got the old beta, those cards are Badlands and the dual lands. Those are like all that stuff's really pricey nowadays. I wish I still had my old stuff because I would have had a lot of money too. But yeah, but that's cool for people who still have it. You got to cherish those things because I remember a guy who came into my card shop, and he was not very old guy. Probably in his like 30s at the time, and I was 16, and he came in and he had a binder full of like they call it the Power Nine, just like the Mox Diamond and all Time Walk and all these others. But here, well, I was about to say you should save them for the kitty
oh
part, but
my
yeah, we've got
god.
Kitty, the little one's holding.
Oh my
Oh,
Oh, the filter.
goodness.
yeah, you
Oh
want to say
my
hi? Oh,
gosh.
he's a nice little guy. His name's Dax. He's
Dax?
Dax, yeah, DAX. So Flame Point Siamese.
Oh
Full
my
name
gosh.
Daxter Keegington.
Oh, Daxter Kingington. Okay.
That's really I love that. We'll get to cats next because that
Yeah,
is
no,
my next favorite topic. But continue. Guy
yeah.
guy comes into your shop. He's got the full
The
nine, is
Power
it?
Nine,
Power
yeah,
nine.
Power Nine, and I'm like, oh my goodness, and then he's like showing it to all the people there, and I'm like, dude, this is amazing cards. It was just nuts, and of course he used like proxies, not in the real game, he's not going to play with these cards, but he had a deck, with them, and how you play that deck, that you only play in like one turn or two turns. It's ridiculous. It's like it's almost unplayable type of game
Right.
at in the early stages, and then over a couple sets, it started to develop into a game that was pretty interesting and fun. It was very nerdy at the time, but but that's where we fit in. And they had a computer shop there with a couple computers set up. I got into early stage Diablo and StarCraft.
Nice.
Loved that stuff as a kid. And then we got into Dungeons and Dragons, Werewolf the Apocalypse, Vampire the Masquerade. So I did a lot of preemptive role playing, things that kind of directed me towards this way. And then I even see it in my kids. My oldest is into anime and she likes the RP stuff. And I'm like, she's my splitting image of me, and she never knew about my RP side. So it was like seeing it develop in her, that was a splitting image of what developed in me at the same age, was just crazy to see without any resemblance of her knowing about it,
Right.
which is crazy. Yeah,
But now she can go instead of a computer room, she can just have an iPad and learn the same things.
exactly. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I think where it's come. My brother used to have a Magic the Gathering, this exact picture on his wall in a poster, and I always just liked the way it looked with the dots. The arcana, and
Oh yeah.
oh wow, okay, release date. It is exactly 30 years
Yeah.
old according to August 5th, 1993. Oh, now nice.
Yeah, that's crazy. So to think that it started, because I started in a set that was like called Ice Age or something like that, and that set or fourth edition. So I started way late to the game, and those even the first set cards were popular, right? You couldn't find them. Everybody there was no boxes anymore. People knew that they were going to be valuable. It was the first run or two. So I never seen those cards, but like the fifth or sixth set, I had a lot of, and I remember now looking back at those sets, even the fifth and sixth sets, those are worth a ton. If you had like some of the
Wow.
good cards back then, 100, 200, $300 for one, and you'd use like four of them in a deck. That's the max of a certain card, the same card you could play with,
Mhm.
and you make like I think it's a 30 card deck, or no, it's 60 card or 50 card deck, something like that. So you could have a couple of $1,000 deck just sitting in a box somewhere that you didn't even know that you had. And if you had a good collection, you'd probably get 20,000, 30,000 for something I would have had as a kid, but no longer have, I guess.
Right. Ugh.
Oh,
That.
it says right there, minimum size 40. So yeah, there we
Okay.
go. I
Yeah.
didn't see it down there at the bottom. It's been so long since I played. I've got some cards in my bedroom.
Nice. Yeah. So you clearly have a good like I almost said gathering. You clearly have a good concept of all these different games, right? So Dungeon Dragons, Magic the Gathering, even Diablo. You had said, and did you say
Yeah.
Starfield? Did you say Starfield?
No, StarCraft actually.
Starcraft.
It's like a real-time strategy game that Blizzard made also. I guess I played a lot of Blizzard games.
Yeah, I actually there's a story behind it. I had to play StarCraft and actually win. It's like XCOM a little bit, right? Where you have to attack the other person and attack the other
Yeah,
team.
see, XCOM is like turn-based, and I liked XCOM. I played it a little bit at a friend's house, and I thought it was really cool. And I never played like a turn-based game like that.
Mhm.
But StarCraft is like real-time strategy where it's continuous. There's no one turn this person does this, next turn everybody's doing everything simultaneously, and you start with a base. Central hub, and you send your units, or what they call peons, or they would gather resources, gas or minerals, and then you would be able to use those units to build other more advanced structures, and then those structures. So I see in like games nowadays, mobiles like Clash of Clans or something like that, where it's kind of similar.
Mhm.
They've mobilized it a little bit, but they've got a StarCraft 2, but really good. Warcraft, I think, what came out right after the original StarCraft.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, Warcraft 2.
yeah. So, which I thought was really cool too. And I play Hearthstone, which is a universe card game based off of Warcraft. So, and
Oh.
that's kind of like Magic the Gathering. It's got like a mana cost, and you have creatures, and it's a strategy game. So I kind of like strategy games. I just
Yes.
don't play them much on stream because like no one knows what's going on. They're like,
Right.
what am I watching?
Right. No,
At
that
least
makes a lot of
Fortnite, they
sense.
they see I'm either shooting the person or I'm not, and I'm dead. So they
Right.
get the gist of that. It's pretty simple.
Right. Right. All right. So let's take a hard left. Let's talk about
Yeah.
cats.
Well, I love it. Let's take it. Let's talk about cats. My kids here. Let me get my kid here so she can just sit and watch because she loves cats too. So.
Okay. So you said your cat was Siamese. Is that
I
what you?
believes, yeah, they Siamese with flame point, which are
What?
what flame point? Oh, we're talking about cats. So we're Dax is flame point, right? With
Yeah,
Siamese.
he's a flame point Siamese. One side of his parent was a ginger or an orange tabby cat, and the other side of the parent is a Siamese. So he can be purebred, and the line of a Siamese can be taken from a long way.
Okay.
Interesting.
Thank you for that. I
Yeah.
Thank you.
appreciate
So,
that.
so what's funny is that this is an orange and white tabby right here, and this is
Okay.
a
That's all.
Siamese,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
now they're right next to each other. So that's interesting that you have such a cat. So how old?
Those two
How old is
to
the
make a
kitty?
flame
How
point
old?
Siamese.
What is he, like 4 now?
Yes, he's 4.
4?
Oh
Yeah.
Mhm.
my! Oh my
4.
goodness.
Cats
Yeah.
originated from
And
the
he's so spoiled and but he's so caring and he's got his own personality. He'll come up at night and make little biscuits on everybody, and then he'll lay at the foot of the bed or at the top of the bed. But he likes to play a game of wife gets up at 5 to go to work. He'll jump up, she'll feed him. I get up at 8 to get ready for stream, and he'll want me to feed him again. And I'm a sucker. We do it. I
Oh
feed him again. So I and later on, same thing. He gets so it's getting to the point where I'm like, no, man, we got to hold off. You're getting starting to get chunky.
right.
These, but somehow he keeps it off, which is crazy. He's always running and doing
That's
things. So
good. Yeah, I'd say replace that with treat time instead of food time, and they won't expect you to give them a meal. You could just give them a treat instead.
yeah, that's usually what we do. We have like these little ones for teeth, and then we have the bigger ones that are like a catnip type treat. And I've done that too because like the food we give him, he's spoiled too. That way, when we got him at a young age, we kind of variety through meat, different brands and find what he would actually eat. And when we came across of it, obviously it's the more pricier one and yeah, so we just got to make sure to not go bankrupt with
Feeding the
overfeeding the
cat.
cat.
Yeah,
Did
that
you
makes
know
sense.
Hold on.
fl-
She said flame point cats originated from the United Kingdom. She said
Oh, I did not know
so.
that.
She's very educated on that. She's dived deep into that. I can tell with the cats, but
What how do you enjoy the catnip situation? Because I have 3 cats. And so catnip gets them the zoomies, like intense. They just kind of like freak out and you think they're kind of like having seizure tendencies and they're not. They're just like rubbing their face on everything and then running around the house like 100 times.
yeah, the I haven't given him. We did for a little bit. Like I'm sure he misses it. We need to get some more for him, but we even get the edible kind, the more organic and stuff like that. We don't want them to, who knows if some of it is ingestible. That you get in like the toys. I'm
Right.
not too sure. I haven't done a whole lot of research into cat stuff, but we've got also a friend who lives on a farm nearby, and they actually have some growing on their property for their cats because
Oh,
they have
cool.
farm cats they have around here to catch like the rodents and stuff that run up on the farm. So I just thought that was interesting, but they're crazy cats. They live a whole different lifestyle, and we spent time out on that farm with the him, and so he lived both lives of, and that's actually how we found him. Was on the farm. He was up in a tree whining, and they had farm cats, but he looked like he had been dropped off because they looked like he had been domesticated. So he was like whining in the tree, so we kind of adopted him and brought him home, and he's been here ever since. So
Aw. Yeah, we have one cat, Keiko, who found Galvos and went up to him and was like, "I'm your cat now," and he's like, "All right, cool, free cat." And so he
yeah,
brought the free cat home and then had to get all the shots and immunizations, etc. And $800 later, he's like, "This was not a free cat. This was anything but a free
yeah,
cat."
yeah, suckered in, then yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But you got to be. It's good for good for the cat.
yeah.
We had teeth pulled on ours recently. He had two of his back teeth, and I think that they say you're supposed to brush the cat's teeth. Do you brush your cat's teeth? I don't.
It's
I didn't.
there's no way.
No, exactly. We tried. Apparently, if you get them while they're kittens, you can teach them, right? And they'll just get used to the motion, the rhythm. When we diving in 4 years later, is like, yeah, okay, guy.
Yeah,
He'll
it's
sit there for a minute in our arms, and we stick our fingers in his mouth, and it's with like a little rubber, bristled thing,
yeah.
right? And then toothpaste on it that's supposed to taste like salmon. Nah, he don't care. He's not having that.
Right. Yeah, I've seen little toothbrushes at the vet for the cats too, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
you would have to nape them by the neck in order to do that to my cats, and like you'd have to
yeah.
pull back here so that way their mouth opens, and it's traumatizing.
It is. It's not fun. Nobody, and what have to do that pretty often, to even make a difference. It's tough.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's like maybe vitamins or certain things you could probably put in the water. We use a water fountain for him, like a little base that has a stream that comes up, and you just replace the filter.
Mhm.
We have that in one of the rooms, but we also keep like a little bowl that we change every day with new fresh water so he could just drink out of that if he's not wanting to go all the way back in the other room. So spoiled a little bit there.
Yeah, we had one of those and it was a disaster because they all like to play in water. So, water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. There was,
Oh
it
wow.
was like a
See, mine he
disaster.
doesn't like water for some reason. He does like to pat once in a while, but I don't see him doing it often. Yeah, so he's not really a fan. And I don't even think sometimes I'm like, are you even drinking water? Because I
Right.
never see him drink it. So they must be doing it at times where no one's looking.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. My cats grew up in sinks.
Oh
So I
wow.
have
So
like
that's
they're
cool.
like 8 or 11 or something. I don't remember. But I have so many pictures of them as they were growing up. In sinks, or if I have the water dripping a little bit, this one's swatting water while this one's already in the sink, and now she's getting wet because she's flinging water, and it's just water is a interesting subject in this household. We can't leave any water like in the sink or whatever. Everything has to
Yeah.
be flipped over because they'll just go for it.
Oh wow. Yeah, and then you got like, yeah, that's what we do. We soak our dishes, right? Especially if it's something that's stuck on. But so you
Right.
have a cat up there just slapping, splashing dirty water everywhere. You're like, get out of there.
Right, right. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. So I love that. I love this conversation. We are going to move on.
Yeah,
We're going to move on to Fortnite.
nice. Let's go.
Uh, is there
We'll have
like.
to do a game of Fortnite. Carry you to that. We like to do a carry me to the crown victory thing once in a while, where we have people come on and try to carry us to a victory, and if they win, we give them like dance emotes or a skin depending on how if no one's winning.
Right.
It's like, all right, guys, this next one we'll randomly do a skin giveaway or something. I haven't done them in a bit, but I think that'll probably be something we do again soon.
Yeah, that's a great incentive too. But yeah, I the only 3 games I played, I won all 3. So
Nice. 3 for 3.
so
Let's
like
go.
I peaked. Like why? How can I ever play again, Joker Dad, if I've
Yeah, I know.
peaked?
Yeah, you're at top of the list. There's no
Right.
I can retire happy and
Exactly. So tell me how you got into Fortnite. Why do you like it so much, and why do you play with the community?
Fortnite, my kids, I had them playing it in the past when it first came out, and I remember, it was like, oh, that game. I don't think I'd play that game. That doesn't seem too interesting. And at the time, it was actually in its early stages, so I think myself even now, I wouldn't have liked it back then. When it first came out, there was just so much more that it needed to do. The movement looked wonky, the building seemed wonky, but maybe I just wasn't knowledgeable on the game at the time. But over time, I kind of started looking and playing it more, and I was like, "Yeah, that seems interesting," and it seems like something I can bond with my kids with.
Yeah.
Do something that they're doing, and I always played a lot of shooters too in the past. Call of Duty and not modern Call of Duty, but way back when it first started, and then a lot of like Unreal Tournament, Duke Nukem. I didn't play, one that I didn't play a lot of that people play still till today, and there's a big following is Halo. I
Okay.
never played Halo as a shooter, but so Fortnite, I like the cartoony aspect. I like the more digitalized feel to it, and over time it looks like just the quality of the game has improved so much with
Yeah.
movement. I was there a couple seasons back when they added like mantling and grappling in the game, where you like you jump over the front of cars and leap into windows and stuff like that. So I'm like the zero build even drew me in, and I'm an okay builder in the game, but uh, zero build, picking your area of when you travel to where like there's rocks or trees, so you have some cover. There's always like an alternative strategy, like positioning's everything, which I like. There's a lot of great people out there, but I feel like I'm getting better each game that I play, which is great, and it's fun. The like you said with the community's great. We have a lot of great people who showed up tonight. Yo, what's up, Hurst? Thank you for stopping in, my man. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all of them. Zahabi, as well as Ryder came in. Appreciate you guys. Joker Mom for being here, as well. Popping off. Thank you for coming in as well. Nice to meet you, fellow rodeo clown there. Or yeah, I think that's awesome. No, thanks for providing that information for us tonight. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. And I love the Fortnite that's going behind you too. It says Fortnite as it flies by, and I
Nice.
thought that was
Yeah, I
great.
love it. It's just such a great game, and it bonds a lot of families too. There's a lot of big streamers out there who are very family based. I like that because like this game, I mean, obviously, like any game, there's a lot of toxicity. But I haven't seen Fortnite being very toxic. It's not like I played other games. Overwatch 2 is very toxic. I kind of played that game quite a bit and kind of slowed off of it a little. But yeah, so this game kind of brings a lot of people together, so I enjoy it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel bad because it gets made fun of so often that people think that they're better than Fortnite, right? So they call it things
Yeah.
like fork knife and all the other stupid names that they can come up with. But I really and I wasn't that type boy. I was more blind to like what is Fortnite? Why are so many people playing it? Like what?
Did you hear the news recently about Fortnite?
Tell me the news.
I believe I'm sure it's confirmed. I read some comments. People say it was confirmed, but uh, Disney put a 1.5 billion dollar stake into Fortnite. So now they're gonna make like some big universe with Disney collaboration with Fortnite and new game modes. It's just gonna where it's going to keep growing pretty big within itself. And they just recently added like a Lego collaboration. So there's a Lego mode in Fortnite now. There's, what was it? This new Fortnite racing, and the festival, which is kind of like Rock Band and Guitar Hero,
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of great licensed music. So like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like at this point, the only competition in the gaming industry is Fortnite itself. Like it would have to completely murder itself to have anything really kind of like provide what it provides. I mean, if you're not feeling a battle royale, you can go to some weird, scary custom game which has all these cool rules. Like I played custom games. Kind of reminds me of Roblox, where there's all these custom games that people have made, and you can play like Phasmophobia style or any game that's out there. You can play a Fortnite version of it almost, and have fun with it. And if you're not feeling that, you got the racing or the Guitar Hero style game. And I just think having that all in one place is kind of like an arcade. And you have all these different varieties, and each mode has a healthy player base right now. I've seen. Some may be a little lacking. Like I know the Fortnite racing has been the one that I've seen that's kind of lacking a little bit. I did some of the quests on that, and to unlock a skin, and I was getting in like lobbies, obviously with bots that were racing. But till we got up to like silver or gold, and then all the real people were in the games, and I was like,
Right.
okay, well here we go. This is a good player base still that's healthy. Same with Lego. Lego's been huge since it came out
Yeah, I
in
played
Fortnite.
some Lego. I did. When they had the situation where you had to continuously craft your weapon over and over and over again, it would break. You'd have to craft it. It would break. You'd
Did
have
they
to
fix
craft it.
that?
I don't know, But that's
Yeah.
why we all stopped playing. I mean, and it was all
Yeah.
of us that started playing Lego Fortnite. Like we all downloaded it. We all started playing. Like it was a big thing. It was server. Like it was just huge. And as soon
I
as they
haven't played it since then either. I told myself just like all the other game modes, they need updates.
yep.
It's beta alpha. They threw it out there. They want to see how people react and get the reactions and then adjust and fix or just kill it off. Like I feel like their primary focus will be on one and it's like which one and it'll probably be Lego. But they are catering to that. They said there's going to be a controller for the festival one to interact with the game that way instead of just keyboard or mouse or or other controller. I don't know how it is. I haven't really played that one because I don't know. I'm just not. That's not my style. I guess I'm not into the rock band type stuff.
Right. Wow. Yeah, Fortnite's becoming like a franchise, right? So it's basically saying like, yeah, we're Fortnite, the battle royale, but like we're also Fortnite, like everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're kind of taking over every aspect, so it's like there's a lot of needs a lot of competition on all fronts of player base. So they're kind of boxing everything in there. And then look at platforms. You've got iPhones and Windows and PlayStation 4, Xbox One, iOS. You can even like Amazon stream it right to anything. I forget what that's called, but Nintendo Switch and Xbox S and X. So it's nuts to be able to like pick up anything mobile, anything anywhere and play with anybody and that capabilities right there in that game at that quality. I don't know, man. I keep telling myself like and this is coming from someone who never played Fortnite and dogged on it just like everybody else did until I was lured in by my kids and then I started to see it on a mass scale. I'm like, man, this company's making billions of dollars with microtransactions
Yep.
and giving away good quality content, though. Like the updates, I've never been too disappointed, except for that recent OG bringing back. I really didn't like that for the first week. I was like, I don't like this right now. I was like, they need to do a lot of stuff. And then the second week came out, it got a little bit better, and third week a little better. And they only did it for a month, so 4 weeks and then they did a new season and I wasn't too happy with that but by the end of it I was like okay this is all right.
Yeah.
uh but yeah.
Wow. Disney, huh?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like wow, Disney.
Because
You know
Disney
what?
already has Disney Dreamlight Valley, and they already. I don't know if how much you know about this game.
I do.
Okay, so I play a lot of it. Not always on stream, but that's my like. I used to play a lot of Animal Crossing, and this scratches the Animal Crossing niche.
They
Itch.
also have the Disney racing that's out there,
Yep,
so
Disney
that
Speedstorm, and I played that as well.
yeah, my friend plays that and he's like top 100 in the world right now on Speedstorm with maybe it's a certain character or I don't know, but
Yeah.
he streams it One Winged Angel, but yeah. So
Wow. Yeah. No. I mean, we just play with the lobby with our friends, just to get the.
it
Not
looks
everybody has
fun.
Mario Kart, so it is. It really is, and they give you enough points to start with, and you can really get the points rolling, so you don't always feel like you're trapped in the back, or that you're grinding too hard. But yeah, they've come out with Speedstorm. They've got Disney Dreamlight Valley. They have the DLC for Disney Dreamlight Valley with open options to have 5 more DLCs because the way you come into this area, there's 5 spots and the sixth one is filled. So that means 5 more DLCs at $30 a pop. The game is already $40 and each DLC is 30.
Wow.
And then there's all this internal monies too, like things you
And
can
what
buy.
game? What
This
game
is
again?
Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Oh, Dream Life. Okay, yeah, I've seen a lot of people play that, and I didn't know it was. I thought it was a free game. It's not free.
No, not at all.
Wow, I thought it was free for some reason because Speedstorm's free, I believe, right?
Correct.
Or okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know Dreamlight. I'd never, I think the only thing that my kid ever played or something around that, some people I kind of consider that close to like Sims in a way, or Farmville, or
Yeah.
but there's what was the Animal Jam. Animal Jam used to be these figures that came at Walmart, and they were little animal figures. And if you got these figures, you got a code, and you could scratch the code off, and you go to Animal Jam, which was National Geographic owned it, and it was like a world where you're like an animal, and you could go around and RP with other people, play games. So it was like interactive, and I thought it was really cool. I think my kid still has an account. You have like your own area where you set your own like dressers and furniture. So it was just like, to me it was above its time.
Yeah.
But you to do certain things in the game, you had to pay a monthly membership to
Mm,
wear some of the cool outfits that you collected, and I still think it's cool kind of to the day.
right.
But she grew out of it. She does graphic art on her tablet now, and
Yeah.
uh, but I still think that's very interesting.
Yeah, I think that's pretty sweet. The other one was the well, there's two of them I'm thinking about. The ones where you get the action figures and you put them on the stand and then they play for you
Oh yeah,
in the game. I can't think of what that's called because there's a Amiibo.
Skylander, and then we do have the Disney one actually. Let me see if it what's the name. It might I have the case right here actually. It's weird. We haven't played it. Played it forever. I know. Look at this retro. Look, we're talking about
Oh,
Disney.
I love that.
Uh, like an old retro Disney Winnie the Pooh backpack, and it's Disney Infinity. So I kind of like when stuff I was noticing. I guess some of the figures aren't the best, but we'll go through them here. We got the Mickey. What is this? This is I forget her name, Rio or Rai. I forget, from Star Wars.
Okay.
So there's that one. We've got this one. You can
Oh.
see it. So really cool there. Captain America, it looks like. So quite a bit of them. I mean, the kids just had a blast with them. Uh, Darth Maul with his saber broken.
Oh god.
But yeah, so they I think they even played with him in real life. We got Nemo, and so yeah, I just thought these were pretty. So they like these type of things.
So there's playset mode, there's toy box mode, there's physical elements, and there's alternative versions. So Disney Infinity, the original, was released in 2013. The patch was released in 2014. And then on August 2014, it was released for free download at the Wii U eShop. And it was backwards compatible on Wii U. Then the sequels, Disney Infinity 2.0 and 3.0, were not available for the Wii.
Yeah, I think we have it for. I think that's the PlayStation 3
Okay.
version. Yeah, we've got a Wii, but we don't have a Wii U, unfortunately. So we got it when I saw that for the system we had. I was like, oh, we might as well grab it. The kids will like it, and
Yeah.
they did. They played it for a while. I think a little bit of the toy box mode, but mostly just the storyline, I guess, that came with some of the figures. There would always be like a different style game or something that came with it, which was cool.
Yeah, it says 3.0 has the Star Wars pack.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and available on all the PlayStations and Windows and all that stuff. That's wicked. I never heard of that.
Yeah, I wonder if yeah, you probably there's like different adapters, I guess, for each system.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how they marketed it like that, because I feel like some systems at the time the game it came out, and we got it very late in the stages. It was probably like towards the end of its life that we kind of stopped in on it. Like I think they were even like probably stopping updates and stuff. So I feel like it was very short-lived. Hoorah! What
Mm-hmm.
does it say? May announced May 5th
And released on August
released.
20th,
Okay.
2015.
Yeah. So that's not even honestly. That's what 9 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 9 years ago, like I don't know, there's games out there have lasted longer. Like I feel like that's kind of like in the dust. I bet most of their servers on all those systems are down. Probably. Who knows? I guess
Yeah.
we have to pop it in and try to update and see what happens. But
Kaboom. No.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There was a toy or a thing that you
Oh, it
would.
says the game's combat. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Combat influenced by the Kingdom Hearts. I thought that was cool. It says right there. I did not know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that
But there
makes
was a
sense
toy
too.
that what?
There was a toy that you used and you scanned barcodes with this toy. And for every
Oh, that's cool.
barcode you scanned, you got certain like points. And then you would be able to use those points to have a battle between your other action figures.
I think I saw that on a TikTok video or
Let me see
uh
real quick.
that's cool. Yeah, I like
Barcode
that. So you go
toys.
out shopping and you spend more than that hour that it took you to shop anyways while scanning every barcode of everything you throw in your basket. That's what I'd be doing. No, wait, babe. I scan this barcode. I gotta get this monster and we gotta fight. We gotta
We
battle.
got a battle. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically it's called scanners. And scanners are
cool.
toys that read barcodes to collect monsters and creatures and battle them. It can be any barcode. That's what makes them perfect grocery shopping toy. No whining about how long you're taking anymore. So yeah,
Oh, what? Yeah. What was that last part? The
no
last couple?
whining about kids taking too you're taking too long in the grocery store. Kids are occupied.
Oh, you can do it at home, is what you're saying?
No, like
Yeah.
when you're going to the grocery store and you're scanning
Yeah.
things, your kid is scanning things while you're
Oh, I get
buying
it.
stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's smart.
No, that's awesome.
Smart
No,
marketing.
that's very awesome. Yeah. Because mine doesn't, mine wouldn't, mine don't like to go. So yeah, that's a good marketing.
Tell me about your love of magicians.
Yeah, it kind of corresponds, of course, with the clown aspect a little bit, there, but magicians, what is it, David Copperfield, different magicians always caught my eye. The sleight of hand, the trickster, the look over here while I'm doing something else over there, the daredevils, the risk takers, the guys that risk it all for the show. I thought that was like very cool. Like I always like that. All the movies that I've seen that's featured magicians, I've really enjoyed, and I thought they portrayed them really well. So
Are you following the four magicians on Twitch?
I am not. No,
I am the
that
moderator
show
for
me the way.
yeah, I'm the moderator for all four magicians on
Oh,
Twitch.
awesome.
So,
Jeez, settle down the flex there, Panda. No, I'm just yeah, exactly.
magician's assistant. Yeah, no,
Awesome. No, I like it. That's awesome. You got to tell me all the secrets now. Then no.
yeah, you,
I gotta pull a rabbit out of my hat or something here. We gotta make the show great. No, I love it. I think it's great. I'll give them a follow. Shoot me the
yeah,
info. I'm
info.
hitting the like button. We're gonna be there. Nice. Info's yeah, nice.
I should have done SO shout out, but whatever. Here we are.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I like it.
And then once you find him, you'll be able to find the other three. I could type them out if you want, but you'll be able to find the other three if you just type magic Twitch in his thing. You'll get a link tree to all of them. Actually, I could post a link tree. Give me 2 seconds.
yeah, no, no hurries. That's awesome. I gave him a follow already,
Nice.
so we're good there. No, that's very cool. I'm into that, and I'd love to have where I'm always looking. I Fortnite's great and all right. We were talking about Fortnite. I love it. It's great content. But my heart lies with what you're doing, what we're doing here. I love talking to others. I like learning. I like to experience what they love and hate as well. Is what. So I thought it was very interesting when I came across your show that it's kind of very similar to what we do, but on a more in-depth scale than what even just here's a set questions. Let's talk about these questions. So I like the openness of the person deciding on what the discussion is going to be around, and we can sway away from it here and there, right? We can talk about, but we keep the flow. I like the flow here.
Yeah.
So
Even when
yeah.
I take a hard left, that's one of my favorite things to do is be like, we're talking about cats. Now let's talk about Disney. Now.
Yeah. Yeah. And magic now and yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I gave you the link tree for Magic Twitch. And
Awesome.
that'll give you all 4 or 5 performers. Tammy Makes Things is trying to become a more full time Magic streamers, but the other ones are full time Magic streamers. Um, and one of them is one in Singapore. He's a professional magician. He goes around and does birthday parties and all that other stuff. Um,
That's awesome.
one of them came with me down to TwitchCon, and I was on the panel for TwitchCon for Magic Twitch. I actually made shirts for us that says "Ask Me About Magic Twitch" with a big QR code on the back. And so it was. I mean, it was really cool how many people are interested in magic, and you just don't know about it. Like,
Yeah, I bet you were excited when you saw me say magicians, huh? You're like, oh yeah, like this
yeah,
guy, yeah.
we gonna have a chit chat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's very cool. I did. I just dropped them all 4 follows. I can't wait to catch whichever one's on next.
So, well, to be
And if I
tomorrow
make it in there,
afternoon is the next one, and then
okay,
Saturday
yeah.
night.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and if they're, invite them to the kingdom. Anybody's always welcome to be in. We're always looking for, new streams to watch. That's the biggest thing. It's like we are trying to grow as a community, but I want to meet new people. I want to see what they enjoy and what kind of makes them tick, and them learn off of me learn off of them. That's what's great about growth in life, and support everybody. I'm always out there trying to support. There, if anybody needs any help on things, right? You're having technical difficulties. Just like yourself, I reached out to you over a question and was like, "Hey, I saw you do this. I need some help with it," and you were happy to help. So I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and don't the good news for your the way that you approach trying to that give and take feeling where you're like, I want to learn more about the streamer. I hope the streamer wants to learn more about me.
yeah.
Infozar will go ahead and give you a shout out and ask what you like to do or what you are. They'll usually do like a who is where it'll read your bio right out on everything.
Oh,
Um,
very cool.
but he shouts out every streamer that comes to that door, and if he doesn't know who you are and you say, "Yeah, I'm a streamer," he'll add you to his shout out list, and then the next time you go in there, it'll automatically add itself to a shout out list. And so when you walk through the door and just say hi, it adds itself to the shout out list, and he goes through his shout out lists and tells everybody who everybody is, and you'll be there permanently.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you for the
Oh, I'll
follow,
have to
Hurst.
definitely. Yeah, Hurst, thank you, my man. Everybody's great coming in. I appreciate everybody's been spending their evening here and hanging out with us, getting to know magic, clowns, cats, and a little bit of everything. What's up, little one? This one's been waiting patiently for probably 20 minutes, standing right here,
Mm-hmm.
wanting to say something. What? What's up? Oh, my kid said she wants to tell a joke and then she wants to ask me a question.
Okay.
Okay. What's the
Did you guys hear the rumor about peanut butter?
the rumor about peanut butter? No, I haven't.
Good, I didn't want you to spread it.
Oh my goodness. Uh, all right. So what was the other thing? Your question?
Do you know
Right?
where my earbuds are?
I don't know where your earbuds
Dang it.
are. Oh, this kid.
She tried
That's
to
what I
butter
deal
you
with.
up with a dad
Yeah,
joke, hoping you know where your earbuds were.
yeah, that's gonna help me figure out where they're at. That's
Okay,
funny.
so I'm curious about geoengineering. So that's something different that somebody's put on their list, and so I wanted to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
So we kind of go through likes, then we'll throw in a dislike, then we go through some likes, etc. So tell me about why this is on your naughty list, and explain to me how it made it there.
I would say, my perception of this is probably different even in the scientific experiments of because this is to me, this is something that's been admitted. It's pretty evident of what they're kind of doing. They use a chemical combustion or carbon dioxide removal. It says terms used for both that as well, but they kind of says right here, solar engineering involves reflecting some sunlight back into space is what they're portraying it being. But I believe they use like a liquid aluminum or nanoparticles of chemicals in the atmosphere, and some people believe that it is. Some label this as conspiracy theory, right? But it's been admitted on by some top scientists that not only have they been doing this for some time, but it causes, they're trying to reflect the sunlight off of the surface of the planet to reduce global temperature. But in reality, it's some people believe it's causing us to bake like an oven because the temperature is not able to escape the atmosphere anymore. So in some terms, right? So and there's discussions of like the chemicals they're using, long-term effects on the planet. Some people believe that the particles are seeping into every human being and any living organism, all the way down to the ocean, algae, and we could get on like nanoparticles of plastic and stuff too, but that's a different beast in itself, right? This is humans doing it purposely that has to me a serious side effect, and they're not looking at the serious side effects. They're like, okay, this is their last ditch effort, hoorah, to stop global temperatures, and someone gave it an okay somewhere. And I feel like this is like happening globally and being used globally. So if there's an entity out there that can control a global effort of climate engineering, then that makes me believe that like conflict in the world is a facade a little bit. It's like power moves here and there, chess here and there. But if you're given a green light to a global climate engineering, it kind of is a conspiracy that you're going around the backs of like every human being on the planet and deciding like what's okay for the rest of everybody. I'll never decide what's best for everybody. I'll decide what's best for me, and maybe my family, but I'll even let my family have a decision on that topic because that involves them. It's voluntarism. That's allowing another individual the rights to do something. And I've been dealing with that recently at my employment where they want to dictate what I talk about. And I work in the food industry, I work in sales, and they want me to stay on topic. And if the customer wants to talk about what the customer wants to talk about, I'm going to entertain that. I may stay away from touchy subjects that differate from me, and it sucks because I have touched topics that maybe I should have stayed away from on work grounds, right? But in general, I stay on topic of my job and my, what I talk about. But this geoengineering is what they call it, or climate engineering is crazy. I don't know. I've looked into so many documentaries. I've looked into the more scientific approach from it, right, and try to examine it from a more rational decision. Like, but it's out there. So if anybody's interested in that topic, look more thoroughly out there. There's probably tons of YouTube videos. But some believe they're doing it off of the coastlines from ships. Some believe they're doing it freely in the air through back of nozzles through planes, doing it that way. But it some concoctions can be like invisible, or not, I wouldn't say invisible, but not mixed completely for half an hour, and then there's artificial cloud cover. Some people believe that those nanoparticles can be electric charged through the atmosphere through electronic frequency, right? So they shock the air kind of with electromagnetic frequencies, like your wireless telephone or your Bluetooth, right? There's frequencies everywhere, and they shock and move and they steer weather patterns with these electronic frequencies through nanoparticles. It's mind-boggling to me because I'm not a very like I don't portray myself as an intelligent person, but I think whoever has developed this type of method to steer snowstorms and steer hurricanes and things like that through manipulation of weather, that's climate engineering. Like if some people believe they did it. Again, this is all like up for debate. I'm not saying this is fact. Some people believe they did it for Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Sandy, where they steered these hurricanes to try to manipulate them out of the way of hitting certain coastlines that would be more statistically damaging, right? Where they know if this storm hits this area, it's going to kill millions of people, right? But if they can steer it a little bit through manipulation of the weather, they could save millions of lives. But then in return, you're damning the other millions of people who would have never been hit by that storm. You know what I'm saying? So who are you to play God on who lives and who dies? And that's crazy. You know what I mean? That there's people debating this, and there's people talking about doing this, and I believe it's already into effect, right? Someone's already doing it on that scale. They're doing it on the global warming scale, and they don't really care too much about the general public and what we care about it. But again, all up for debate, not fact. Uh, so yeah,
No, interesting
conspiracy
to
talk.
me. I had not heard anything about that, and that was very, very fascinating. Like very fascinating. So Galvos is the smart one in the relationship. It's just how it is. So I'm gonna ask him more information about this because I'm sure he knows more information about
Yeah,
this,
I
and
mean,
we'll
and
have a
again, there's
conversation about it. Yeah.
positive sides of it. You know, like I said, if droughts, you know, places that don't get rain, you can cause it to rain, but which increases quality, right? But like, what's in that rain? What's the effects of that rain that's been manipulated? You know, what's it going to cause long term? You know, who knows?
Right. Right. Wow. I learned something new. The more you know. The more you know.
Exactly. Cue the music and
Right.
special effects.
Right.
Uh,
Well, that was. Thank you for letting me cloud seeding.
yeah,
Yeah. Thank you
yeah.
for
Thank you, Joker Mom. Yeah.
teaching me something. That's really wicked. Um.
Oh yeah, she's talking about Vietnam. Yeah, they've done it in the past, you know, with military operations where they actually seed clouded the weather over trade routes, so it flooded them, so they couldn't get supplies to the troops. So it's been used in military operations that way. Some people believe it's been used to test chemicals on populations without them knowing. So it's like aerosol deployment. So it's kind of weird. It touches like a lot of different things too. So it's not just, you know, the geoengineering aspect. It's yeah, no. But yeah, no, that's appreciate you taking that time to look over that one. That one's a pretty hold one to my heart because you know, I'm a big activist, I'm a big humanitarian, and that one is the beast to me because it's global. It's not just like your local neighborhood. It kind of goes pretty deep on a scientific level.
Right. Like
Like
somebody's
right there where
making
it
it as.
says highly controversial due to large uncertainties around effectiveness, side effects, and for unforeseen events. I mean, if they kill off all the trees, like people say that the trees are rotting from the inside out because the aluminum's caking on to their bark and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, if you destroy all the trees and that produces our breathing of the planet, you're just going to kill the planet. I don't understand, like, but
Right.
maybe they think if they don't do something like that, that it'll probably die a lot sooner if they don't intervene. It's like a scientific movie. I feel like I'm living in sometime.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, I'll be keeping this up. I'm gonna tab it, and we're gonna go to
Yeah,
another
for sure.
Wikipedia, and I'm gonna look at more of it later. Um, let's talk about tardigrades.
Yes, I love tardigrades.
Tardigrade. Yeah, I think they're super cute. All right. So tell me about tardigrades. Tell me why you think they're super cute and awesome like I do.
Yeah, exactly. They are. They're out there. Like they are kind of cute, but they look like they got two butts kind
Yeah.
of like they're just moving around with two butts and but I just think they're fascinating because it says you know, they dehydration, starvation, they like shrink down to where there's like no moisture inside them. And then when reintroduced to liquid, they come back to life. So they go through like a cryostasis. I can't even say the word cryostasis kind of form. They can withstand the vacuum of space, the temperature of lava. Cryo. I say I can't say it. My wife's like, "This is how you say it," and I'm like, I still can't say it. Okay, it's one of those words. No, but yeah. So I just thought they were fascinating. And I didn't know that there. It says right there are about 1,300 known species. Yeah,
That's crazy. Yeah,
but
water bears are moss piglets. That's cute.
moss piglets. I love it. That's what they are now. Moss piglets. Because yeah, I didn't know they was originated and found in tree bark, I guess, uh, and microscopic, and they're all over the planet. But they believe that yeah, of course they came from space, because of their structure and how they can withstand that. And I don't know how they determine that either. But
Okay, so subjects. Okay, blah, blah. Tardigrades are amongst the most resilient animals known, with individual species able to survive extreme conditions such as exposure to extreme temperatures, extreme pressures, both high and low, air deprivation, radiation, dehydration, and starvation that would
how
quickly kill,
radiation.
which kill
Wow.
most of other known forms of life. Tardigrades have survived most exposure to outer space. There are 1,300 known species, a part of blah 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 blah. The earliest known true members of the group are known from the Cretaceous amber found in North America, but are essentially modern forms. Their origins are likely much earlier, as they diverged from their closest relatives in Cambrian over 500 million years ago.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, 500 million years. Wow.
I mean, you keep dying and reliving and dying and reliving because you just dehydrate and come back again. You live forever. I'm gonna
Yeah.
live forever. I'm
Yeah, too
gonna.
bad we can't like harness that. That'd be walking vampires from the tardigrade
Right?
cultures. Like
Yeah, that'll
just
solve
crazy.
some things, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. I can barely deal with people enough in
Right?
one lifetime. Please God, don't bring them back.
Right. So where did you learn about the tardigrade?
Ah, that's tough. I don't recall actually. I just came across some information somewhere or another, and I just thought they were really cool. Oh, it says South Park said moss piglets. That's funny.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's a new term that I've never heard. There's even my kid brought me on, my oldest, brought me on to a tardigrade song too that it's came out, and I was like, tardigrade song. I was like, I have to listen to it. But it's it was way before that I knew about them, and then I started like researching about them and watching a couple documentaries about them and stuff, and I just thought they were interesting. I was like, this is pretty cool. Little creature. It kind of expands our knowledge on what's out there.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of maybe microscopic stuff in that type of multiverse. I forget what they call it. I've never watched. It's like the Ant Man, Wasp girl, where the
Oh,
guy who
yeah.
can shrink into that universe that's microscopic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very interesting too. I think the first thing that I watched was like that was Honey I Shrunk the Kids when I was little.
Yeah.
You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool, so cool. And he was such a great actor. I was actually talking about him. I don't know if it's his name in the show, but Rick Moranis, is that his like real name, I believe. But he played that, and he was in Spaceballs and a
Okay.
couple other comedies. Uh, I forget what the big one that he was, Ghostbusters, right?
Ghostbusters, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so he was classic at the time, and yeah, and he gave it all up for his family. He just, I'm not gonna act anymore. I'm just gonna take care of the family, and
Yeah.
that's that's how it is. Sometimes you get to a point where like you got what you want out of it, and now you got to move on and take what best. Take a hard one sometimes for
Yeah,
take
yeah.
that step.
Like which it's not Travis Kelsey, it's the other brother. Um, this is sports ball, but he left the Eagles to spend more time with his family, and so like he, the Taylor Swift Travis Kelsey situation that's like all over the internet and the world. His
Oh,
brother,
okay.
his brother was an Eagles player, so they played against each other. Travis Kelsey on the Chiefs, and I can't think of his freaking name. The other Kelsey brother on the Philadelphia Eagles. They played against each other, and the mom has been to every single game they've ever been to, and she actually got a jersey of each side that was each of their jerseys split.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so, but he just retired, the older brother, from the Eagles, and it's because he wanted to spend more time with his family. And people are like, "Yeah, you're a legend. We respect that." Like, it's just, yeah, you had it. You had it all. You're on top of your football game, and you're just gonna drop it for your family. And he's like, "Hell yeah!" They're like, "Okay." So
Yeah, I mean, you know, you think that life is great, you think it's everything you ever wanted, and then once you achieve it, you're like, this is nothing that I wanted. You know, it's like it's great and all. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to be a millionaire and I'd love to play some professional football, but at the end of the day, you know, his family came first, and that's awesome. I think that's a kudos. You know, giving away all the money for your family, I think, is a good move. Sometimes you have it's all about perception, I suppose. At that time in life, I don't know how old is he? How old? That's the big thing. Is
let's
he's
find
young, right?
out.
Or
Kelsey. There's Travis Kelsey, and there's where's his
I don't know these two individuals, but I think, you know, I know a little bit about football, and I think that's cool when there's always like opposing brothers. And I think it's happened not very often, but I
There
think,
we go.
you know, you might have like a cousin or, you know, a family member who's like a son, right? Who's played in replace of them or have lived up to same ball as them.
He played college football for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Kelsey's a Super Bowl champion, 7-time Pro Bowl selection,
Wow.
and 6-time first team All Pro selection. He's often regarded as one of the greatest centers in NFL history.
Wow.
Yep, yep,
That's
yep.
really good. That's really good stats there. That's accomplishment when you look at it on paper like that. Yeah. 87. So he's actually younger than me.
Yeah, he's
Uh
36, and his brother is 20. Hold on, I gotta go back. His brother is 20. Come on, give me his birthday. No, you're not gonna give me his birthday? Oh, he's 34. Oh, I didn't realize he was that old. Not that old, but I didn't realize he was.
Whoa,
I
shots. Ugh. No,
because
I'm just kidding.
their
Dead
QB is
clown.
their QB is only 28. So I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
realize that he was in his 30s. But still, wow, cool, cool, cool. And like I said, they just kind of dropped it all to be with family. And that's not a bad thing. I'm saying that's just
No.
you were talking
Yeah.
about the guy from Honey I Shrunk the Kids, and I get it. Like you just
No, that's cool. I didn't know. I didn't know about that. So yeah, thanks for letting me know.
um. Okay, so one thing I wanted to look at real quick is exposure to outer space. We were talking about this. Tardigrades are the first known animal to survive after exposure to outer space. In 2007, dehydrated tardigrades were taken into low Earth orbit on the Photomount MP mission carrying Biopan astrobiology payload, whatever that means. For 10 days, groups of tardigrades, some of them previously dehydrated, some of them not, were exposed to hard vacuum of outer space or vacuum of solar UV radiation. Back on Earth, more than 68% of the subjects protected from solar UV radiation were reanimated within 30 minutes, allowing rehydration. Although subsequent mortality was high, many of these produced viable embryos. In contrast, hydrated samples exposed to combined effective vacuum of full solar UV radiation had significantly reduced survival, with only 3 subjects surviving. It was found that the space vacuum did not have a significant effect on egg laying. However, the male tardigrade exposed to UV radiation had, female I guess, had lower egg laying count. Wow.
Yeah, that is wow. I know, right? Can you imagine being that person doing that research? That's like
Right?
mind boggling. It's like today
Right?
we're going to talk about the tardigrade and send it to space and collect all these samples. It's like, God, I'd love to see that made into a movie.
Wow. Yeah, in the recent years, there's also been increased speculation regarding the tardigrade's ability to survive on Mars without any life support systems, but it would still need stuff to eat to survive.
Yeah, it would need trees. It would need life forms. I guess I
Right.
don't. I wonder what it consumes. Like
Okay,
what
let's see.
tardy?
Habitat. Um, are often found on lichens and mosses by soaking a piece of
Yeah.
moss in water. Um, description, naming. I don't care about any of this. I mean, I care, but I don't care. Tell me what they eat.
Yeah, exactly. Probably just the water and the tree, like the moss. I don't know. Maybe the nutrients from the greens.
Okay. Where did it go? Eat. Next next word. Plant eaters. Most tardigrades are plant eaters, bacteria eaters, but some are carnivorous to the extent that they eat smaller species of tardigrades.
Yeah, wow. Survival of the fittest, baby, I guess. Gosh.
That's great. That's great. Well, yeah,
I wonder the
tardigrades.
first. Yeah.
Well, tardigrades. Here we are.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so tell me about metal detecting.
Space bears.
Yeah, metal detecting. Yeah, it's I love it. It's a great hobby. It's what I do outside of streaming. I've thought about bringing it to the stream. Slap a GoPro on my head and let's have at it and go see what we find. Where I'm located, I portray it being a well combed over place and very not rich history. Like it's only I'm in the Midwest, so occupation here is only like 100 years old, really, or a little over 100 years old. We had some like I've been to some ghost towns where they're like old German settlements and stuff like that, or no German, yeah, and then so that we've had some settlers in this area, but I haven't came up with nothing, too interesting. There was like this metal siding of an old, I would suppose, like a community hall, maybe, or they did have a creamery in that town. Uh, but they go over it with a bulldozer, right? So you got all these nails and things that you're kind of coming through.
Right.
But yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah. Uh, did we have no? Was Eroom on last week? I think Eroom also does metal detecting. I
Oh,
think he was
cool.
on last week, and he does the GoPro with the metal detecting, and he goes through and sees what kind. He calls them treasures. And
Nice. Yeah.
the craziest thing to me, is that he doesn't sell a dime of them. He's found carat gold necklaces, silver stuff, whatever, and he calls them his treasures, and he leaves them in a treasure box. And I'm like, that's so cool. I wish
Yeah.
I had the ability to just not sell them. Like, I would be like, oh, this is cool. How much is this worth? And he's
Yeah, exactly. There's a video game I can get with this.
right,
Yeah.
right. But yeah, I think I looked more into metal detecting. I had one when I was a kid. I wanted one for my for Christmas, and so my dad got like a low grade one. Like it was fat and plastic, but it worked. Like I found things, and I
Yeah.
was like, this is great. But like I had to use it all the time, or my dad would kill me. Like, cause
Yeah.
it's one of those things like he went out and bought and really spent some money on it, and now I'm like, oh crap, now I have to use it all the time to make sure he knows, like, yes, I've used this. Thank you, Dad. But metal detecting, fond memories. What's the coolest thing you've ever gotten?
Um, I would say, I mean, I've gotten like a medallion that had like a really great quote on it. I don't think I have it around me at the moment, but we find, like you were saying, little old silvers. This is like here, I don't think it's going to focus, but yeah, you're not going to, oh, maybe.
Oh,
This
okay.
is a mercury dime. This is silver. We found what is it? Not a, is it Indian? Yeah, Indian head penny, which is
Oh,
about over
wow.
100 years old.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Like, especially when like, because it's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, to
Yeah.
find stuff other than garbage, and you're picking through everything. You're hitting signals, and you'll. The coolest part is, again, it sends like a frequency into the ground, and it bounces whatever it kind of tones the sound of the frequency that bounces back to that whatever minerals in it. So if the you could get a different sound if this dime is in the soil, right, and it's sitting flat. But if it turns, you could pick up some of the copper in it, which sounds different than the silver. And the same thing is if there's moisture or water in the ground, some coins will hit at a higher frequency and fool you. So you think, oh, I got a quarter, and you go to dig it up and it's a penny that's like wet, and you're like, this is crazy. Like, I'm
Yeah.
looking at it from that perspective, and I'm like, this is interesting. But some people have really, like you said, nicer machines. Mine's like a mid grade, so mine was like 200-300 bucks. There's some people who have like $1,000 machines. Theirs go deeper, right? And their tones are a little more cleaner and better. I've I've looked into one of those, but yeah, it's a friend has. I got a metal detecting friend that I go out with, and he's that guy. He's got like all the cool stuff, and we watched a lot of YouTubers, a lot of other metal detectors who do it. He's got like water gear. He's actually found a lot of stuff out on these boat docks in my town. Gold ring, graduation rings. He gets out there and goes like chest high, 13, 14 feet in the sand,
Wow.
hitting stuff with scoops, metal scoops. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, but that's even more. I'm just a land guy. I just like to go around and
I just want to stay flat-footed on the ground.
yeah, he's swimming and pulling up gold rings, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like I should be. I want to pull up gold rings, so I've thought about it, getting out and getting my feet wet. But it's interesting, and
Yeah.
I'm more into like like you said, like your friend, the treasures, right? I like that aspect of it. I'm kind of the same way. I probably wouldn't want to sell it unless it was something like super super valuable, some rare coin.
Right.
I may probably give it to my kids. That's usually what I would do. I don't need the money right now, but if it's enough to put like a down payment on a house, then yeah, sure, we'll get a home.
Right. Right.
Maybe one day, but I've metal detected for 2 years now. I would say 3 years, and I haven't nothing extravagant quite yet, but a couple interesting finds that made it worthwhile. Where I was out there for like 6 hours, 7 hours metal detecting, and you're like, okay, come on, guys, it's just a bunch of quarters and pennies. Because we go to places where like in your mind, and we try to get old pictures. Like there's a method to metal detecting, so we've gone to like museums and stuff, and we find the old pictures of where these old spots were here in town, water parks and things like that. And we go to those locations, and we get permission from the owners if it's on property. We tell them what if we find anything, they're welcome to it. We're just here for the fun, right? We want, and if it is very valuable, we hope that you would, for our hard work,
Yeah.
you would, or if it's something like in these old ghost towns, I would have donated it to the museum because that's how we found out about these. There's like 7 settlements around my area,
Hmm.
and they're all ghost towns that were destroyed and people were relocated.
Wow.
So I thought it was really cool to go over those. And we've been over a few. Like one, we went towards an old graveyard. And on the way we went along the path of the graveyard, and I found like this super old can of like tuna, or like someone had been eating on the way to pay respects to their loved ones who just died.
Right.
And I just thought like picturing that in my head of people walking to this area, it much more than metal detecting, I guess. You're getting a piece of history and you're living through someone else's experiences.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool.
That's a great depiction of it. That makes me kind of feel like an asshat for saying the treasures comment.
Yeah.
I guess it's
No,
just
I
I
mean,
guess
maybe
because it's I
maybe he
just
looks
don't
at
get
it that
it.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he looks at it that way as these were. I just think it's cool that these coins or these objects were a part of history at one point. It's almost like anything, right? People cherish old paintings. I think I kind of lump it all in one. I think there's beauty and art and everything. You just have to find it and look at it, right? And so yeah.
Yeah. Metal detecting. That's awesome. I want to know about fishing.
Oh yeah, yeah, good old fishing.
Is this just a side thing that you do, or is this something you
Yeah,
like actively love?
no, I would say a side thing. I've got bigger friends who are more involved in like ice fishing up here in the Midwest, and they've got their houses out on the ice, and then they pull them off. And those guys are more active fishers. It's kind of more of a side thing. I did grow up bass fishing when I lived in Tennessee as a kid, so fishing has been a part of my growth from a childhood experience all the way up to adulthood. So that plays a toll, but I'm not like a professional angler or have a I have like two tackle boxes and they're like very small and they have a couple lures in each box. Like I've got friends who have, you know, closets full of lures and 20 poles. I have like maybe two poles for me and like one for each of the kids and family. So, and we go
Oh,
out sometimes during summer and try to catch some fish. And the wife likes, like, I don't even, it's funny, the wife likes filleting. She learned how to fillet the fish. And she does that. And I catch the fish, she fillets them and cooks them, and then she eats them. I'm not like a huge eating fish fan, but if we are going to catch them, someone's going to eat them. It's about sustaining the animal and
right, right.
utilizing it and stuff. But I think it's interesting. I think that, very, very fun thing. But I'm, like I said, the worst part is I'm kind of one of those guys where it's like, I hate to hurt or, kill any living being or entity. So I'm, some people would say it's more on the side of like vegan and stuff. But I kind of like some meats and they taste pretty good. So
Yeah.
it's hard to go that direction. But I think as long as it's like respecting the animal, I'm more involved with like the Native American people of like bison and how they utilized all the fur and
Yeah.
all the, everything. And you just spiritually respect the animal sacrifices. And I think there's some hunters out there that are like that, where they respect the kill, and then others just do it for the game. And I'm not for the game. I'm not
Mm.
for like the satisfaction of killing something. That's psychopathic to me, and that's very not cool. Like, um,
For the
yeah.
antlers. They do it for
Right.
the antlers.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah, for the bone. Yeah, that sounds like something a serial killer would do. Oh, I
Right.
just killed it because I wanted to keep a trophy of it on my wall.
Right. Right.
Whoa, guys, settle down there.
Have you ever heard of magnet fishing?
I have, yeah. No, I've watched a little bit where people pull, bikes, safes, just everything. And I think that was something that me and the metal detecting friend was gonna get into because that's a little bit more affordable, I think. I think you can get a good rig for like 70, $80 of a good solid heavy magnet with the good rope and everything. And then you're just out there spinning it and chucking it into the water and then drag it back in. And I think I'd be tired after a while. I'd be like,
Yeah.
man, this is metal detecting gets tiring because you're squatting and bending and digging and hard. You got to have a good shovel. Like we had to research it. Like you don't just go out there with your lawn shovel. You got to have this special shovel that makes certain. You have to learn it's a method of plugging. So pulling the soil over and then putting it back in so it doesn't kill the roots. Which some areas like here it's been dry, so we definitely killed some grass and in the places we went through. But we tried our best. You got to make it look presentable. I've
Right.
been to places where people metal detect and they've left big holes in the ground and stuff,
Mm.
and I'm like, bro, you're making us look bad because
Yeah.
people aren't gonna like let us be here, or they're gonna call the police and stuff. You can't do that. Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
but yeah,
I found granite once in my
cool.
backyard, and I was like, no, is it granite or was it? I think it was granite. And I was like, oh my god, I found granite, and so I just went on a digging spree. I was like 10, and I
Yeah, I
just
got so excited. I thought I found like silver, like real. And apparently, researching in like other metal detecting groups, people make campfires, right? And they throw their aluminum beer cans into the campfire,
yep.
and the aluminum liquefies into like solid rock almost. And I've come across that a few times out places, and I was like, what is this stuff? And I'm like, oh, it's like liquid. Some people told me it's liquid aluminum. And I'm like, this sucks. I thought I hit the
Right,
jackpot. I just
right.
found liquid trash in the ground. Like it's
But yeah, there was holes all in my backyard. My dad was not happy because he has to mow the lawn. I
yeah,
got,
blame them on the gophers.
oh man,
Blame
I
them
got
on
a
pictures of
strict
gophers.
talking to. I had to go back and put the dirt on every single hole that I made. And to this day, there is still a hole that is not totally filled because we didn't have enough dirt for it.
That's great.
Oh man.
It's like where did the dirt go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got 5 minutes here.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to look at your list, and there's a lot of good things that we haven't got to, which is a surprise. This is probably one of the few interviews that I have where we didn't go through most of the list because we talked about, clowns and magicians and a lot, like, in length,
Yeah.
which was great. I loved it. It was an awesome conversation.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I appreciate it. Again, I love being here. I appreciate you taking your time out of your Wednesday and giving me the opportunity to kind of shed life and maybe some other aspects that a lot of people don't dabble into. And so yeah, great.
so give me, of your good list, which you're allowed to go back and check, what's the one thing that you wanted to touch on that maybe we didn't touch on?
Uh, I mean, I did talk about being a humanitarian and stuff like that. I mean, we could touch on the subject of the anarcho pacifism type
Got it.
thing, because we did. I like the parasite that eats the tongue of fish and kind of replaces that. But this is more to my standings and beliefs in the world, right? Because we all have a place where we feel like we fit in, close to our own personal beliefs of how we portray life. Um, and anarcho pacifism is like there's different stages of anarchy. Some people believe it's all chaos and destruction and lawlessness. But really, it's like more voluntarism. This is anarcho passive or pacifism is just peaceful voluntarists who believe that we can resolve conflict through words and not hurting each other, right? That we can come to some type of solution that benefits everybody without the need of violence or overthrowing or, my way's right, your way's wrong mentality. It's more examining it from a stage. But some people will argue that there's always going to be war and violence, and how do you conflict that? I think, some people who have um, been pacifists. You got Gandhi and Martin Luther King, and they tried to uprise, through um, influence, right? Through disobedience uh, against authoritarian measures, right? You don't play the game, you don't participate in the rules because the rules are stacked against you. Um, so I think it's really good movement and ideology to live by is think about your neighbor and what kind of what's best for everybody else. But sometimes people don't look and think about what's best for everybody in general. They, especially if the situation benefits them, who's going to give up more of their cookies and crackers to benefit somebody who doesn't have any cookies or crackers?
Mm-hmm.
That's the idea behind it is you work together with your neighbor to better your neighbor's situation, educate them, right? Provide them the tools to succeed. Don't just leave them in the dust and forget about them.
Yeah.
Um,
So where does the anarchist come from? It rejects the
uh,
principle of
it
violence. So you're
because they
anarchy
don't
against
believe.
violence?
Kind of, but no, anarchy is, yeah, I mean, that's what pacifism is.
Mm-hmm.
Anarchy is more against establishment, the statism, and higher authority, and, people who decide, like a president. Who's to say that one, like if, like here in America, we have 300 and something million, 350 million people, 350 million people in America, I believe. Who's to say that one individual and a team of staff determines what's best for everybody, right? So they don't believe in a higher ruler. They believe in a consciousness of of like a community almost. But that's still, it depends on the anarchist you ask. There's different. If you type in, if you want to type in, because we went over pacifism. Some say if scroll down a little bit. I think I remember something about religion involved in anarchy. So some people portray Jesus as being an anarchist because he didn't go along with authoritarians. He was more of like, same thing, trust in your neighbor and believe in them and give them faith and but he believed in God's rule, so nobody was higher than God, right? So any human being saying that they know what's best for you would never trump, God. And I'm not a very religious person, but I thought that was very interesting because I kind of believe in that sense to a point where, like, if there is a higher creator, who's to you to say what's right or best for anyone? Obviously, we don't want murderers and rapists and things like that. But some people you have used anarchy as a form of exploitation as well, especially to children. They'll say like, well, that person gives consent on my behavior towards them, and that's not how it works, because that's a developing mind that hasn't had a helping hand. You've just exploited them, and now you're using anarchy or voluntarism as a scapegoat for your behavior.
Right.
And people like to do that. They like to fall on religion and ideology to you know, give a reason for their behavior. So, like a scapegoat, and I've seen it in all walks of life on anything, any ideology, and I've seen it in anarchy with people I've associated with just over the internet. And then next thing you know, there's like a federal, national wide case on this person that I was in my circle, kind of like I didn't associate with them, but they were like a person on my friends list. And then I'm like, I start seeing like people reported this person's video because it was like that. It had suggested themes of that in it, and he was open about it. And that's what he solved the case on himself because he was open about it and posted videos saying, well, underage consent and blah blah blah. And you're like, whoa, bro, no, that's not this movement. And that's
No.
why some people in like the other uh, you know, uh LGBT, right? There's a lot of that going on in that too. So, and I've seen it in that, and it sucks because it's not fair for everybody. So, I'm a supporter of LGBT as long as they're not, people involved don't use that as a scapegoat for their bad decision making, right?
Right.
And irrational actions.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, that's kind of it about anarchy. Now it's about peace, voluntarism, growing your own food, not relying upon the state or an entity, a corporate entity to provide it for you. It sucks that I kind of my lifestyle does not reflect my beliefs, unfortunately, but it's very hard for people to kind of live off of the. But it says, yeah, fundamentals, teachings of Jesus Christ, nonviolent force in order to enforce law and order. It's just hard to expect people to participate in a system that uses extortion and coercion through violence. And that's what we live in. We live in a world that uses police to enforce a law upon the land. And some of those people who enforce that law aren't good people. They're not good human beings. And some of the people who make laws are not good human beings. So their reasoning of making laws is sometimes in order to fatten their pockets and not really about protecting the people. Uh, but yeah, that's it. That's a little bit about me in a nutshell and the beliefs that I hold. It's close to Buddhism. It says Buddhist anarchism. I didn't
Mhm.
even. So there's different forms, and there's like ones who are primitive people who don't believe in any technology. So they believe of like just living off the land and so
Amish.
yeah. Yeah, sort of like that. So it's sort of like Amish, but those are called anarchist. Let me see if I can just pull up. I just want to mention the list. Anarchist sects or sections. Hold on. Okay, different branches. Here we go. Outline of anarchism. Rejects. Okay, hierarchy. Because there's like a huge list that I remember. And I went through them all and kind of because I just wanted to know about them. I was like, what do we, what is in this section? All right, here we go. Uh, Anarcho syndicalism, anarcho capitalism, green anarchism, which is anarcho primitivism, which is the one I was talking about. More green, more. There's anarcha feminism. I've never queer anarchism and anarcho pacifism. So it's just different sects over time that have grown since there's like some originations with attempts of creating a society based off of these beliefs, but I don't believe they ever came to a point of success, right?
Right.
Because someone eventually would oppose that ideology that and conquer it right throughout time.
Right.
And but yeah, no, I appreciate your time and giving me the show and the floor here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great time today. I've learned a lot, and I think you're an amazing human.
I appreciate that. No, that means a lot. And I just hope that I think the world, yeah, I'm sure anybody would say this, right? They'd say, well, if the world was filled with people like me, right? Because that's their mindset and their perception towards things. But I really think it would be a much better place because I try to rationalize things outside the box,
Hmm.
and never think that how you perceive things is the correct or right way. Because I've been proved wrong many of times, or go, you're right. I can look at it from that perspective, and you have areas that I believe that are correct, and maybe I don't agree with everything you say, but I will respect you and I will treat you like a good human being. And that's I think people need to do that more because I've been in exchanges of conversations with people, and right when they hear my belief of something, they stonewall me and they treat me as the enemy, and I'm like, are you really serious? Is this like the pettiness and the this is
Right.
it? This is the forefront of it. And usually during those times I kind of become speechless. I'm more verbal, in a comfortable position. When I'm presented with conflict, I back down, I tuck tail, I wag my tail, which is the pacifism aspect of my body. I don't like I've been in fights before growing up and as a child and an adult where I just took the beating because I didn't want to hurt the other person.
Yeah.
And that sucks because like sometimes you have to fight back. Uh, you know, I I believe in rights to carry firearms, stuff like that, because I believe that at some point you have to resist authority, and because if not, they're just gonna take advantage of you.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah,
You've been an
but yeah, I
amazing
appreciate it again.
guest.
Awesome.
No, you've been amazing. I've like I said, I learned a lot, and kind of like the more you know kind of thing, but like I'm glad I know kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
if y'all
And
don't
it was,
know,
and that's why I tried to do a little wide variety, right? Like it's like a
yeah.
little subject over here, something dabble over there, some fun stuff, some maybe more serious stuff.
Yeah, no, I like I said, your list was perfect. So, if all of you here who are new, definitely check out Joker Dad. They play a lot of Fortnite, a lot of promotion for other streamers, and overall just a really good time. We are gonna go ahead and raid C Dub Guitar. He's a good friend of mine. We met at TwitchCon, but also, just like I said, a genuinely good guy.
Awesome.
Um,
Oh, let's go say hi.
he's a musician, and right now he's singing. Oh, I guess he's doing some sort of Marbles goal.
Nice.
Um, all right, guys. Oh yeah, this is the really crappy raid call I have because I still haven't fixed my OBS. Um, and
I don't even have a raid call, so you're ahead of me. I keep saying I'm gonna make a raid call and put it in the bot, and I never do. I'm such a slacker when it comes to that, I guess. So you just gave me a reminder. Give yourself
I'll
a raid.
take.
Some people like to do one that's for non-subs, and
Yeah,
then some for subs, and I keep
yeah.
wanting to do that, and
It just
yeah,
never happens. Yeah.
yeah. Well, thank you again, and let's go say hi to Dub Guitar, C Dub Guitar.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you again. Have a good night. Right now.